Hey, what's up ladies and gents, SpoonyPizzas here, back with another eFootball video. Now, as you've probably been aware, if you know me, then you know the way I've sort of spec'd players in the past. And since version 4, something happened to all my players and they just didn't feel as good as they possibly could. And they felt like, I don't know, just felt off. Something just didn't feel like it was clicking to me. So I started experimenting with different stats and just trying different things. And you know when you get a player and he just feels right? So I was just playing and tinkering with his stats and suddenly something just clicked and I thought, this feels incredible. Just overall felt a lot better. And my goodness, some of my players have gone from like, they feel like they're 4 times even more capable than they were before. So let me just show you a player that I would probably spec'd in the past of how I would level him, and it's Jack Grealish. So this is a prime example of how I typically level players. Now I want you to take a look at the acceleration and speed stats. You know, I often talked about 6-point differential between those two stats. So the acceleration would always be higher, but it'd be somewhere between 6 to 8 points difference. So acceleration 88 would be fine. With the speed at 80, acceleration at 86 is perfect. I did tend to find like the 6-point difference was the best, but that has changed. A lot's changed. So I'm going to tell you just how to get your players feeling as good as they possibly can. And it means you're going to end up with some weird, crazy builds in some instances, because you're going to have some stats that are boosted right up and you're going to have to cater for that. If it's a midfield player, I would tend to boost the tight possession, dribbling, ball control, low passing, all that good stuff. A little bit of balance in there as well. Acceleration over speed, unless you want big strides. If you want big strides, if you want big powerful box-to-box midfielder, you go for more speed than acceleration. So taking longer strides to get to the ball, and generally if you have like physical contact to hold the players off, that would be the way to go. So players like Bellingham, for example, again, that's changed as well. That no longer is really the case. And the way you want to spec it now is the acceleration, speed, and dribbling. All those 3 stats have to be the same. You ideally still want high balance, but balance and tight possession don't play as important as role as they used to. Still important to have them above 80, ideally, but now they're not as important. However, in saying that, that still is how you are going to retain the ball. It's a bit of a combination between the balance and the physical contact stats now. So what I'm finding is there's an Argentinian Messi I'm going to go to now. This one here, now with the boost and everything else, it's good. I had his balance at 99, his physical contact at 99, and it's very, very hard to win the ball off him. That was in version 4. It's a little bit easier now with the latest update, but those 2 stats are still pivotal in terms of ball retention. So physical contact and balance determines how well your player is going to sort of keep the ball under pressure and also execute passes under pressure and shots under pressure. So every player I've got now is slowly being respected. I'm just going to show you a few players that I have respect recently and who feel absolutely incredible. This build here for Vinicius Jr. is godlike, absolutely godlike. He's absolutely insane. At first, I could not get anything out of him. I was thinking, I actually use real coins to get this player, and he's absolutely useless. Now, Nico Williams, who is also on my tier list, who's also very, very good. But now I think with this build, Vinicius Jr. overtakes him. And I mean, both are tremendous players. But yeah, this build here has been absolutely sensational since I've switched over. Honestly, had no goals, no assists in ridiculous amount of games. And I was like, wait a second. So this player is now, wow, he's such a threat. He really is such a threat. makes such a big difference once I made these changes to the stats. Here's Nico Williams, who I was getting a lot of joy with anyway, but you can sort of see acceleration, speed and dribbling are all around the same, along with the high balance. So yeah, no issues there with him. And obviously with the manager or the little booster effect on, you can sort of see that they're even closer, and that's why he's always felt so good. And he's always been my go-to until now, and now I'm sort of opting for Vinicius Jr. Brazilian wonder kid, 17 years old, and this is also how I spec'd him. Look at his dribbling, speed, acceleration, all identical, and he feels absolutely insane. His balance could do with being a little bit higher, but obviously acceleration and balance are stats that are tied together, so there's not a lot I could do there. So I settled for the balance of acceleration and speed to be matching along with the dribbling. Like I said, this is a player that feels absolutely incredible on the ball. The most noticeable difference I had was with Neymar Jr. He, like I said, his dribbling, tight possession, ball control was in the hundreds, but the acceleration and speed were much, much lower than this. They were, I think it was like 95 acceleration and 85 speed or something, trying to get, use that 6-point differential that I've talked about in the past. Changed it up. This is such an insane build. Absolutely incredible. The difference it makes having the speed and acceleration identical, really, and then the dribbling as close as you can get it. But this feels absolute madness. Absolute madness. You would have seen him being played sort of coming off the bench and causing all sorts of trouble in my how to beat the English club legends video. If you see him come on, he's just working wonders on that left hand side, and he's been one of my biggest improvements. I never used to play him. I never used to get any tune out of him. You can see there 63 appearances, 23 goals, 14 assists, so he wasn't doing all that great coming off the left wing. That's pretty low stats, or low output for a sort of left wing forward, although I do play him left midfield forward usually, mostly, and maybe the odd occasion as an attacking midfielder. But yeah, massive improvement with these stats, and I'm going to notice those goals and assists go up now. Obviously one player I talk about a lot, and this is prime, this is how I used to level players. Massive acceleration, low speed, mostly into dribbling. So when you had the manager boost on top of this, it was just, it was actually higher than this. I've just started tweaking it now, but I'm going to tweak it further, and I'm going to show you how I would level him. So this is how it currently looks. Honestly, not that good a build. He played well originally when I first had him, but then he dipped. He dipped when everything started changing in the version 4 update. So now this is how I'm going to spec Ronaldinho, and I'll give you my feedback over the next few games I'm going to play him. But 7 for shooting, 4 for passing, 2 for dribbling, 8 for dexterity, and 14 for lower body strength. So we'll see how he looks with that booster applied, plus the 3 stats for manager bonus, and you're going to see the speed, acceleration, dribbling, balance, all going to be around the 90s. And yeah, I can't wait to try him out and test him on the field, because like I said before, he was okay, but he wasn't doing anything special for me. So now I'm hoping to see a big improvement. This is how I level Jude Bellingham, box-to-box midfielder. Like I said before, I would want those sort of longer strides, so the speed would be higher than acceleration. But now again, even with this guy, I've basically made his dribbling, acceleration and speed all the same. 84s across the board, balance 85, and he's just a well-rounded midfielder, and he's actually playable now. So yeah, just getting a lot more out of my players by making these changes. David Beckham, another one, so he's a wide player, 83 acceleration, 83 speed, 84 dribbling. To be honest, I utilize him as more of a right back now, to be honest, as an offensive right back, depending what I'm doing, depending if I'm playing against the AI or whether I'm playing against a high tier opponent, then he may feature if he's playing against weak opponents, but generally he doesn't tend to play. Same for Steven Gerrard, very similar to Bellingham, 84 acceleration, 84 speed, 84 dribbling. Again, this just makes your players feel so much better. I'll tell you what, let me take a look at Rodri now, because he's another player I've adjusted. Again, I couldn't get anything going for this guy. And now, before, his tight possession was in the high 90s, ball control 90s. But now look at it. Concentrate on boosting the speed acceleration. You can just tell on the ball he feels so much better. Off the ball he feels so much better. But yeah, honestly guys, try this out. Let me know what you think. But I think this is absolutely the way to go when you build up your players, no matter what position they're playing. The area I haven't really touched on is the defenders, but midfielders, wide players, strikers, go for this, and I think you're going to find your players are going to feel a lot better on the ball. Anyway, that's all from me, ladies and gents. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.